Hello everyone, welcome back to the BloNo Bash coverage. We're here on the back nine and Ben's still with us.
Hello.
Us some more verbiage. So, it's once again a fantastic day. Great sunny day here at the latter end of May. Getting ahead to summer, but just a great time out here in Bloomington. This is Maxwell Park. If you hadn't seen the front nine, you've got to get back over there, check it out, because you're missing out on understanding where people are at. So, spoilers.
Go watch it. What are you doing?
I guarantee everyone here has seen it. So, but anyway, you always have to the one straggler that comes in without seeing the back story. But
Yep.
all right. Well, without further ado, we're going to really jump into hole 10. We're in the woods here in what's considered a more open course of
got
Bloomington.
a couple holes here in the woods before we get back out to the open. Starting with hole 10, we've got 528 feet. It's a par 4. Tight gap off the tee. You've got either the righty hyzer on the straight line or righty turnover or forehand on the left line. First shot wants to be just past this evergreen the drone is passing. And then you've either got a spike hyzer or a low ceiling approach to the gold basket, which
Is on the right.
coming up on the right up there.
Yeah.
So tricky little par 4, not a ton of distance, but if you can get a clean shot off the tee, you should have a decent look at it.
Absolutely. Yep, and I'll mention once again, these drone flyovers are kind of showcasing the entire course, so we catch a little bit of where the blues are at too. And that's the trouble you get into as...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Anything past that tree is good. I haven't seen that turnover that turns in front of the evergreen before on this hole.
I don't know if that was Dane's full intentions. Obviously,
Yeah,
he
I'm
put
not
a
sure if it
little
was
higher.
either, but it worked. It'll play. Jared, obviously, don't want to be putting it in the ground there.
Yeah, you want to be given air underneath your disc. And
Oh, Brandon heading straight for that evergreen. Maybe kicks out, but
I think
that's
it's right on the fringe.
Yeah, that's kind of the one really jail area unless you hit early and kick left or right. It's kind of the one spot you don't want to be on this fairway.
Yeah, that counterclockwise spin is what seems to be like the best way to really open up the fairway. This one, just this first gap pushes you to end up pulling your line right onto that that tree. So, yeah, I think a forehand chip around, given the length of the hole, as you mentioned before, I think is the best option if you've got a 300-foot forehand. Just rock that.
Yeah, I think you need a little more than that to get around
Really?
the tree. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not.
It is a
doesn't
little
play
uphill
short.
too. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
but definitely it'll work. This looks like Jared's roller disc, so he might be trying to get something fun going.
Yes, that is his roller disc, and he's getting his disc moving to the left, actually.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you're looking for. Good forward progress probably, but he'll have a tricky shot from there.
Yup.
Doesn't seem too happy with it.
And Mark, I think he hung his out to the left too, but there's like this little outcropping of well-manicured area to the left. I think it's to be more friendly to those hyzers that get a little cavalier.
Yeah, he's in play over there. Not exactly what you want, but he has a shot. But
He
yeah,
put it low,
leaves it short and low, and we've seen already this grass is not gonna skip those. It'll skip some shots, but not that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, Brandon had a little lean out forehand. Tricky shot, but gotta miss that first tree,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
It's been relatively dry out here. We haven't had too many rainy days leading up to this event, so I would think that the ground would be dry at this point. I think at this time, this is now like the 10 to 11 o'clock time frame.
Yeah.
So things are drying out, so...
Yeah, it's just
hard to expect.
the crapshoot of if you catch the grass or the dirt or the pine straw. Yeah, so that's the grass not going to get the skip. If that's hitting pine straw, it's taking about a 40-foot skip. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of knowing your landing zones and figuring out what you're trying to play for. Dane, keeps it under the ceiling. That's a really nice shot.
It
That'll
certainly
be,
is.
looks like about 15 feet, if that, for birdie.
Yeah, actually, the second half of this fairway is, nothing to be trifled with as
No.
Mark hits one of the many trees in the fairway. And the fact that you have all the trunks kind of fanning out, and all of them are low foliage, too.
The low ceiling is definitely the challenge here. If you get to the right spot, you can get just a high forehand, like spike hyzer over everything. But that's a very specific zone. And otherwise, you have to deal with the very low ceiling.
And Jared actually puts that pretty far.
Yeah, he's got a long comebacker from there. It looks like that's pretty deep.
I mean, if you just looked at it on paper, this hole doesn't seem too difficult. It's actually causing a lot of problems for some of these guys, and the fact that it goes uphill a little bit and then back downhill with the low ceiling on the second half, it's very interesting, and we'll see how the scores shake out. Just a couple pitch ups there from Mark and Carson.
Yeah, actually playing is our 5th easiest hole in the round, so
it is. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, for the field, not playing too hard, just biting our lead feature card here a little bit.
Interesting.
Let's see what Jared's got from here. Yeah, I think that tree you can see just behind the basket might have been in his way a little bit. He likes to hang that hyzer putt out a little bit more wider, so might have been in his head there. Good putt from Brandon, just cleaning up.
And we'll see if just a few more cleanups here too.
Yeah, everyone should be pretty close here.
Yeah. So what do you throw on this hole?
I throw the same PD I was mentioning on on hole 9, just a nice backhand hyzer. Try to get a little bit past the tree, and then if I'm in a great spot, spike hyzer over everything, or just low forehand. So really, but it's just kind of, you see where you end up off the tee and then play it from there.
Sure. Gotcha.
Definitely more about just committing to hitting the first gap and then scramble town.
Yeah.
Good birdie from Dane.
Fantastic. He's now in line with everyone else. He struggled on the front 9, but he's putting it back together and scoring pretty well.
Yep.
First stop here, Power Grip has been doing amazing things for the tour. They have equipped us with a lot of material to give back to the players and to feed the Greater Peoria Open. So thanks to Power Grip. Check them out while you're in Bloomington.
Yep. Hole 11 here, 555 feet, par 4. This one's tricky. You've got a really tight gap off the tee and a very specific landing zone. If you want to get a birdie, you need to be landing right where the drone is here. If you're any farther, you're in jail. If you're any shorter, you're not getting around the corner. Second shot opens up a little bit. You've got either a big spike hyzer wide or a low ceiling forehand or turnover, and then playing over this gold basket on the right, well protected with trees. You want to be swinging in from the left or the right side. Can't really attack it head on.
Yeah, we've had issues. We actually have had a backup on this hole. There's a lot of people that end up trying to, let's say, break the hole and go really high for their second shots, which, obviously you can mitigate hitting early for that second, but it resulted in a lot of shots left in the tall grass or right of the creek, which there's no access, no bridge to access the other side of the creek.
That would be someone on my card you're talking about who went over the creek and then into the creek on his rethrow after the lost disc, which was definitely a bit of a nightmare. We've got a 2-card backup behind here, it looks like. So
well, I can't say it's just this division. I think there are a few people trying to get crafty too, but that was a good shot there from Brandon.
Yeah, and a nice shot from Carson as well. Looks like you want to be pushing a little bit farther and a little bit farther left off the tee, but he'll have in the fairway will take.
Absolutely.
And he'll have a look, but it's going to be a really tough birdie from there.
Hey guys.
Get some waves from the crowd.
That's kind of what you're looking for.
Wow, and he's going with that same roller disc again, I think. Just super spike hyzer and flip up.
Yeah, I think dialing it back a little bit and just trying to get the glide and the carry to flip it up and move it left.
Definitely.
I think that's a good play, but honestly.
That's more of the conventional play from Mark, just a stable disc on hyzer. And he's got a shot from there, but you can see it's a tight gap with jail on the left. Yeah. Speaking of jail, Dane is in it. Let's see if he can do anything from back there. Oh, never mind. We're looking at Carson. Thought we were...
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think we may have skipped his pitch out. Yeah, he did not. I don't think he could get very far.
No, it looks like he didn't have anything from there. That was a nice shot from Carson. Lots of forward progress. Here's Dane. But Carson's will not have a birdie putt. It didn't look like.
Actually, no. Carson is on the right-hand side of the creek.
Oh, he's over the creek? Oh, my goodness.
It's in the creek. You won't see it here.
Not out of bounds.
It's not out of bounds.
That's something.
Once again, this would be... in this specific example, this would be one where like
you would want it
because
to
there's
be
no
OB.
access bridge.
Yeah.
Yes, you make it OB. You can easily advocate to everyone saying, "Hey, I'm not in the fairway, therefore I am out of bounds. Give me a spot. We'll keep playing."
Absolutely.
You can always go back and retrieve the disc, but this is one where it definitely
be OB.
caused a bottleneck.
I agree with that. It's one where you wouldn't conventionally think of it really as in play. That creek is pretty far off to the right. But especially like I haven't played this hole many times before this. This is one of the latest ones that got in.
Yeah.
It's a nice shot from Mark. Just tickles the left side, so kind of took away some of his distance. But he's got a long birdie putt, probably 80 feet from there.
Right. But as you were saying about the creek.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known it was there unless my card mate hadn't thrown in it. So it's like you could have an errant shot go over there and not realize it's there, and
Yeah.
you're not having a good time at that point.
So,
speaking of not having a good time, got to get that forehand up from Dane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's frustrated on that.
On those forehands, like the low ceiling too, it ends up dragging your elbow down when you're trying to pull the disc through. I know that's my psychology, and it looks like what was happening there too. You have to think about getting your arm still moving from low to high on that pull through.
It's a nice shot from Brandon.
Yeah, he's pitching up there. That'll be a par look for sure.
And I believe this is a birdie putt from Jared.
Yep. Be a great birdie if he can
can't
snag
quite
it.
get it to go. That's a good vid from him. Not quite on line, but had a good move on it.
Yeah.
Mark also with the birdie putt, but yeah, with the low ceiling, can't really give that too good of a bid, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dane wants to put this in. He doesn't want to bleed any more strokes after fighting so hard to get back in line with the rest of the guys here. But
Yeah.
we'll see what he can
It's
do.
a tough putt still. Cannot get it. Yeah. That one, usually he pops them a little bit cleaner than that. That one came out with some wobble, so.
And on hyzer too.
Yeah.
Which actually no, he
Brandon,
has a
nice
hyzer
putt. Yeah,
on
he has a
the
hyzer
side.
putt, but usually it's pretty clean spin.
Yeah.
Nice putt from Brandon there.
It's a great way to play the hole. I know he had not a great second shot, but the fact he could still come back after hitting the rough on the left and
Yeah, and double from Dane it's a tough hole, but that's not what you're looking to take here.
especially now you're at the latter half of on the back nine and you're back at even.
Yeah.
After fighting from high to low to high, and so actually we just saw all these guys clean up, and Carson
was
he had to
across the
walk
creek.
like a quarter mile to get to like a tree earlier in the fairway to get over to the creek. So yeah, he pitched over. I think that was for his par.
Yeah.
Because we found his disc. It was in play on the other side of the creek essentially. So yeah, that's his bogey there. But
Yeah, it's a tough score to take on this hole, but kind of happens if that's where you end up on your second shot, I guess.
absolutely, yeah.
Shout out to Talon Clausen, only birdie on the round for that hole.
Wow, great job, man. Man, I'm not gonna spoil. Okay, all right. Prodigy Disc, disc manufacturer that's been doing some great stuff for this tour. So thanks, Prodigy, for equipping a lot of the players' packs with great plastic. And Ben, go ahead and take hole 12.
Yeah, hole 12, we've got 560, par 4, tee shot. You want something that's going to move left to right, kind of land in the open field under the drone. Some players might get super aggressive and try for an eagle. It plays for that big righty flex distance line. And then second shot, if you're playing conservative, is just a little gap shot up to the green. Should be a pretty easy hole on most days. Yeah, we do have thick rough on the left and right to watch out for.
Yes.
I know Jared's going for the eagle. Oh, boy.
And rough on the right, we have found that.
Wow. Yeah, he's trying for the flex shot, and that was...
Because the blue matches sky, you didn't see it, but it goes on nearly a 45-degree
Yeah, that looked like
anhyzer.
it just held over to the right.
Yes, it
Can you
did.
find that? That might be... Like, that's trouble back there.
Stay
that's over by
tuned. We will show you
14 or
where
something.
Jared ends up, but
Wow.
it's not pretty.
Mark's a little bit early on the left. Hopefully, I think he might be in the tall stuff on the left as well. It'll play, but it's a little tricky over there.
Carson has this dialed in where he just hammers on this specific disc on either baby highs or flat. It gets working to the right.
yeah.
This is a mild headwind too, I'll mention, so it turns it over a little bit more. But that's
a great
his
shot.
bread and butter shot
Yeah,
right there.
and that's up there for like maybe 90 feet into the green, maybe not even that. That's like easy birdie territory.
And I lose this in the sky, but you see it break over there on the right.
Wow, nice shot from Dane as well. Yeah.
Dane has a love-hate relationship with that D1, and he said that it's understable when he wants it to be overstable, and opposite in other cases. So.
I mean, that looked like a pretty good flight for him that time, so there's a reason it's still in the bag, I guess.
Yep, he's in circle 2, and Brandon...
Nice shot from Brandon. Yeah, maybe looks like it leaves it a little bit short. Probably. I could be wrong. Oh boy, where are we? Jared found the wilderness, it seems.
We're having some dialogue here. And he and I were reminiscing about McNaughton coverage. I think hole 10 where he's in hole 11's fairway, right?
Yeah, he almost made it to 14's fairway. I think my card was on 14 at this point, and I saw him through the woods. And I said, that is not where you want to be on any hole. I guess he's trying to figure out even which way to pitch out.
Well, because he doesn't even have a pitch out. He's got a tiny little window up at top for an overhand, or he tries to do some kind of cut roller back through the trail he took to get here.
That stuff is nasty.
No. So he has to go with the lesser devil, and he tries to pitch something up through the only air gap he can find.
This is almost like you consider re-tee territory. Like, he does not have anything in here. Did that get out?
It does.
All right, there you go. That's
here.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's a great result for that shot.
No OB at all. So this is his third shot. If he puts it up there, then he's got an easy par.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah, short enough. This hole I think would be very. It's very parable no matter where you land. For the most part, but
not if you're not.
It.
Yeah, you don't put that one in the playbook for. What you're looking for. Yeah, Brennan was a little bit short. Oh, man. Good bid from back there.
Yeah, just online and low, but I would love to see a lot more of these putts dropping. And Brandon, he'd have a great round pulled together if it was falling.
Yeah, and this is eagle bid from Carson.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it up in the air, but parked for birdie is not a bad result.
And this is the closest looked. I think it's a 40-footer for
Wow. Dane. Yeah, that's a great shot from Dane. He's got all the power he needs. Let's see. Ah, man, yeah, just gets carried a little. He can't believe it. He gets carried a little bit in the wind, it looked like.
Yeah,
a good
like I
bid.
said, it's still a head right to left here on the green, so it's picking his hyzer up a little bit.
Got a chain high. It's a good effort from him there.
Good bird from Mark.
Yeah, really good.
I mean, nothing spectacular in his game, and he can still come out here and keep scoring. I know he was struggling under par, coming back to even, and then fighting his way back. So we'll see if he keeps pace.
Yep, Dane gets his birdie as well. Should be. Oh, we got Jared first. Yeah, wow, that's a crazy par. That's one of the best pars I've ever seen on this hole. Because, wow, I've never seen anyone back there. Good hole overall for the card though. 3 under par.
3 birds. OTB discs. If you guys haven't seen them online yet, just go over to their website and enjoy it, because it's just a fun experience looking through their content. Quick shout out here, actually, I missed the fairway here for this one. This is hole 13, a left to right moving shot, just a really short chipper downhill, and it's blind, so you can't see the baskets here, but the blue basket comes first, and then the yellow or gold is just deep into the right. So. Wow,
that's such a tough shot for Mark. You're really looking for just a lefty spike hyzer or righty forehand spike hyzer. Yeah. That righty turnover play is so tricky, especially because we have a little bit of a low ceiling this time of year.
Yeah.
The tree limbs getting kind of weighed down with the leaves.
Say the green is a small strip that is like a 45 left to right, and you want a disc that is just knifing in, because you can, if you hit early like that, I mean, you can be stuck early and not have a putt, or if you go in deep, it'll be the same case. So you really want something that just falls out of the sky right at distance.
Yeah, I guess Carson's was a little bit short. I like the look of Dane's, but clearly by his facial expression, maybe he didn't like it as much.
I think that's a little on the inside gap there.
I feel like, at least for me, the basket's always a little bit farther right than I think it is.
Sure. Okay.
So to my eye, that looked like a good shot from Brandon. This looks. That should be really good for Jared as well. Should be close.
Yeah. I cannot be the judge of a shot.
Well,
this one's at the camera.
This one's just a weird hole, especially if you haven't played it before, because it's such a feel shot. So
Sure.
Jared went a little bit deep, but he's got a birdie putt.
No legs.
Gotta keep, yeah.
Which
Gotta keep
that's
watching it in case it jumps in the basket from the ground there.
Yeah. Will
Nice
it in.
birdie from Carson.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
I
what
thought
they
Carson's
said.
was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But that's what the greats say. You want to will a disc in, so even if it falls out, you just gotta use the force, lift it up, put it in the basket.
Oh, and I was wrong about Brandon. He is in the jungle back there. He's only about 15 feet at most from the basket, but he's got
Yeah, he's crawling underneath
the world's
that,
biggest bush in his way, apparently.
But he's, I think, trying to go under that overhang.
Probably trying to go underneath here from a knee, maybe. Yeah, there he
he
goes.
found it, so he's like, trying to get behind his disc and
just
find
a
out
little
where
bit
he
of
can
a
put his knee.
push with nose up. It's a makeable putt, but definitely kind of more of a trick shot than something you practice often. That's well done. Good putt, Brandon. It's one of those where, like, if you've worked those a little bit, it's not that hard.
Right.
But if you haven't, it's like, what am I doing here?
I will strongly recommend
Nice putt from Dane.
go to the local putting leagues in the off season.
Oh, yeah.
Go to those because when you're inside, you're trying to find those shorter, more crafty putts to force people into, and so you really get to work on your scramble putting during the off season when you participate in those styles of leagues. So
I totally agree.
Yeah.
If you have it in your area, check it out.
yeah. And so I know that we've run one here in Peoria area, so you should definitely go and participate if and when you see those come around. But Underdog Sports, a used sport retailer, or used equipment retailer here in Peoria and Springfield, but they have a new disc selection too that is growing day by day, and I appreciate everything that they've done here for the Peoria area and Springfield Disc Golf too.
Yeah, and also the host of our putting league, speaking of that.
Oh yeah,
over the winter.
exactly, as we mentioned. Yep.
Hole 14 here, 383 feet. I'll be frank, I do not like this hole. You've got a really tight gap off the tee, OB Creek on the left, very tight woods and bushes on the right. I think it would be a really good hole if they pushed it back about 80 feet and made it a par 4, or if they had us play to the blue basket. But as it is, the blue basket is right in the middle of the line that you have to take to get to the gold.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like a good hole when you're playing it. It feels like kind of you get unnecessarily punished, and there's not really a good look to scramble.
Yep.
Carson's in the middle there, but it's going to be a weird look getting around this super wide tree with a basket that you don't want to hit right in the way.
Miss it. Just keep going.
Dane leaves it high. That's got to sit, or it's in danger going to the creek. I think it does sit.
It fights through and he's in the open.
Yeah.
Going to hole design, we'll comment on any good shots if we see them. Brendan, a little inside
early.
Right. But, yeah, so, I mean, this is one where, yeah, hole design is not fantastic, but there, I think, is always room to have one or two holes on the course where it forces you to have a look for a birdie to place it somewhere else that's not in circle one.
That's fair.
And so, yeah, definitely the shot for this is demanding, and the shot that actually can get close challenges a black ace.
Yeah.
Right? So if you try to ace the basket with, like, that fairway driver that's a little bit more overstable, you have a chance at getting closer to the yellow basket for a putt. But I think that's okay, and this is the one hole here that would be, you just tried to plan for that 40-footer and try to make that. And it's hard to accept as an amateur. I totally get that.
I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree. I just think, I don't know, if you're going to have a basket in the way of the ideal flight, it doesn't feel right. Especially, like, I get, if you have baskets out in an open fairway like we've had on the whole rest of the course,
Right. Yep.
It's fine. But when it's a tight little line like this, these shots that they're throwing, you really have to think, oh man, that basket is right where I want to be putting this disc.
Sure. I just wanted to play devil's advocate because I recognize this technically is a filler hole because these players have to walk back the fairway.
Yeah,
to
which
go
is
to the next hole.
also another problem with it.
So, which obviously we appreciate the Bloomington Park District for continuing to develop this course, right?
Yeah.
To put in the work, and so I think there's opportunity to continue to develop it, and I think they're looking to do that. I think there were some other changes to earlier holes that forced them into this position, and I think they're probably going to be looking for a better solution in a couple of years to come. But,
yeah, I hope so, because it
yeah,
it just feels kind of like it. I I don't dislike the tee shot necessarily. It just feels it's just a weird hole.
Absolutely.
Just leave it at that.
Yep.
Yeah, Dane with kind of the closest look for birdie there and still in jail. Who do we have up?
We
in the
got
tree?
Mark
Is
just
that Mark
hanging
up in the
up
tree?
there, yeah.
There you go.
That
But
was a short
no
little
2 meter roll, thankfully. So
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's see what Mark's got here.
wow, what a putt for par. That's ridiculous.
I did not measure it in, but in the same video, we had the first slow-mo on the front 9, and I'm just going to kick this back to you guys because I thought it was fun.
Oh, it looks like Carson wanted a little fist bump there. Mark left him hanging.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got back to that one.
A little bit of wobble to keep it gliding in the air straight,
wow.
and then
Nice
hard
putt, Mark. Great shot. That's from about 80 feet, it seems like.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Carson from a bit closer, maybe 45.
Yeah, he wants to put this in. This is definitely a hole. I'm just going to say there were no 2s.
There were no 2s in the
Okay,
first round.
that's what
I actually had a bet with Jared coming into the round that we put the over-under, or I set the over-under at 0.5 birdies for the tournament. No spoilers for the second round, but I'll let you know in the second round who won that bet.
Okay. Stay tuned, man. That's exciting stuff. You'll want to hear what happens.
There's a quarter on the line, so big money. Yeah.
Oh, man, you can go shopping at Aldi
There you
for free.
go.
It doesn't cost you a coin. Just messing. You always get your quarter back. There we go.
Tough bogey from Brendan, but that's kind of what happens on this hole. It's like, I don't know. 3 is kind of the best score you can expect.
It's a must 3.
It's a must 3.
Yeah.
4 feels terrible. 3 doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It forces you in a weird mental position for sure. Double Eagle Disc Golf from Bradenton, Florida, kicking up to the tour. They've been doing awesome stuff. And actually, they've been starting a junior team and been sponsoring some players from the area. I don't want to lie and say Carson is one of those people, but I think we've got a couple juniors here in the area that are some ace flyers or whatever they're calling their junior team.
Nice. There you go.
Thanks, guys, for kicking it up here.
All right, and we are back out in the open for hole 15, 645 feet, par 4, playing uphill. You've got a lot of trees in and around the fairway that you have to just kind of sneak through. This is like pure park-style disc golf. First shot, you can either go with a huge flex distance line or just try to pipe something right up the middle, and then it's just kind of dealer's choice wherever you land. You're going to have a couple trees in the way. Just try to find your line, pick it out, and put it close to the basket.
Yep. So while Carson gets another disc, I think really there's like a big open fairway here that ends up just capping off, and then the fairway for the second or the short tee pad is actually the place you want to be. That's the most open way to the basket.
Yeah.
You either pipe something like a 450-foot shot, kind of where Carson was heading, or you don't do what Dane's doing because then you find hole 5.
That's over towards hole 7, I believe.
Okay,
if you can get that line to hold Annie the whole way, I do like that for just the pure distance that you get.
Right.
And even if you get the tall grass, it can be okay. This is what you want to avoid, getting into these huge trees. That is a great break. Yeah, Carson's drive was very nice there, just kind of taking the straight up the gut. Looks like Jared is going for up the gut as well. I'm kind of surprised he's not taking the big turnover, to be honest.
Yeah, he showed us, I think with that destroyer there on hole 12, that turnover capability. But yeah,
Yeah, but when you throw it up the gut like that, that's so far up there, he'll be totally fine.
And it doesn't look like he's putting a lot of effort into it, too. So if he's just looking for the consistency, reliability of the flight, that's perfectly fine. Brandon
doing the thing I can't do, which is just taking the wide lefty hyzer. I can't do it because I don't throw it far enough.
Right, and that's a risk, too. I mean, it's open over there, but he's in the grass.
Yeah, he's in the grass, so it's a little bit tricky, but
he'll
have a shot. It's just the run-up's going to be obstructed.
Actually, at this point,
wow, I'm surprised you guys found this disc.
We did, yeah. It took us a little bit of 2 minutes on a timer to find it, but
yeah,
yeah, he's pitching up back. I think back to hole 7's fairway.
Back to 7, and then
he'll pitch over.
Should be pretty open from there to pitch to the basket. A couple trees in the way, but yeah, a little bit errant on the drive, we'll say.
Yeah. So Mark is in the middle of the first fairway, and I think he's trying to get this on hyzer to get it moving left to the second part of the fairway, which is like the main line from the short tee, and he gets that tree.
Yeah, it's kind of either side of that tree you can be okay. Yeah. Even if you turn it over to the right.
Yeah, you'll
it's
have
still fine. because he's out of birdie position from there, so it's just kind of find something that you can get up and down from. Wow, that's a huge shot from Brandon. The basket you see there is not the one we're playing to. We're playing to one over to the left, I believe, of that. Can't tell exactly how close he is to the basket, but it was a good shot. Definitely a lot of forward progress.
I must have confused myself when I was getting
I think you were zooming in on 5 over there.
Oh,
that's all right.
Okay.
Or not 5, 6, but either way.
Hey, first time
it's all
here,
right.
man.
Yeah.
First time here, I'm lost.
We'll give you a pass. That's okay. Dane with TD Dalton in the background.
On the bag, actually.
Yeah,
he's
picking it up
the
for
really quick.
There you go. That's a nice shot from Dane. He'll have 20 feet or so for par.
Yeah.
And this is a huge drive from Carson. A little bit cut off, but probably going for this high forehand, I would guess.
Yeah, he's well within range, so I think he's just trying to mitigate any and all gaps and just try to put something high over everything. That's this one pine tree.
Ooh.
I think he's heading towards it. He wants to fade right in front.
Yeah.
And he's done it.
Goes for the low line instead, but that's definitely plays well. A little slip maybe on the pull through, but that's a good shot. He'll have a putt for bird. And this is so huge from Jared. He's got less than 200 in on a 645-foot hole that's playing significantly uphill. Just going spike hyzer. Wow.
And 15 feet left. Yep.
That's impressive. Good drive, Jared.
Well done.
Mark with a bench tree and blue basket in the way.
Oh, put it
No
in,
problem
put it
for the
in, put it
bird.
in. Oh.
Wow. You said you couldn't run stuff with a bird in the first video.
Okay. Come on, man. That's my lack of experience with a bird, man.
I don't throw one either. It's okay.
Do it. See,
Oh, wow.
another one,
Yeah.
man. It just
Good bid from Brandon, but yeah, like you're saying, just either a hair undercommitted or just off on the day a little bit. But you can see he's got the tools for it. Carson leaves it just short. A good bid, but you want to get that in the air a little bit.
Yeah, now that we're back in the open, the mental part starts creeping in saying, hey, I need to start scoring again.
Definitely.
There's 4 more holes left. You want to be 4 straight birdies would be awesome.
Yeah, and they're all gettable. Nice putt. Really good par save from Dane from way, way out of position on 2 shots. So
he forgot what hole he was playing.
Yeah, right?
Got recorrected, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Carson going to tap out his.
Par as well.
Should have everyone else tapping out, hopefully.
Yeah, everyone's close.
Yeah, good putt from Brandon. Jared with the birdie putt next, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And a great birdie putt at that.
There you go. Good birdie, Jared. This is playing, actually, is kind of the middle of the pack on the harder side for our holes here. Playing right at even.
Okay.
So, we didn't really see it from this card, but you can get into a lot of trouble if you go into one of those evergreen trees.
Sure.
It gets nasty in there.
Gotcha. Well, and we'll remind people, there's 90 players out here today. I believe there are 20 players in the MA1 division, so I forget.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see.
Sample size is not huge, but definitely we're trying to collect things from other people.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
trying to
good.
talk
You're
about it.
good.
Great Lakes Discs, thanks.
There
Hole
you
16.
go. Hole 16. Pretty attackable hole. We've got 366 feet. Dead straight, but again, you've got the wide hyzer lines for either the righty or the lefty. Big danger on this hole is the trees just deep of the basket. If you go into that tree line, you're not going to have much of a putt, and it gets pretty nasty trying to get out from there. Or if you miss a putt from short and go into there, it gets bad. So you want to be kind of pin high, either left or right, or parked, and then you won't have to deal with it.
You always want to be parked.
I would love
That's
to
always
be
the
parked
goal.
every time, but
Just throw it to parked and
exactly.
tap in and never putt again.
Disc golf's easy, man. Just do that.
Jared was a little shy on the distance, but yeah, he's eliminating all of the gap hitting just to guarantee himself a look.
Yeah, and this is definitely the play if you have the distance on it. That's a nice shot from Carson, but he does push it a little bit deep. So he'll have maybe a kneeling putt, maybe a weird, some kind of putt from in there.
He's already had one of those today, so we'll see if he can capitalize on it. And on the inside there from
Yeah,
Dane.
it just comes out of his hand a little early. Should be a manageable up and down, like one tree in the way, but not what you're looking for. Got the lefty Brandon. Just looks like a little bit too much hyzer out of his hand. Yeah. Fading off early, but Another easy up and down.
Yeah, for sure. Man, we could simplify the breakdowns by just saying, hey, it's another open hole.
Yeah.
Pick your line.
Yeah.
Just distance control is the main thing, yeah.
Yeah, Mark just looks like he was trying to go hyzer, but flips it up a little bit too straight and catches one of the wide trees. Going Berg from out here. That's a nice approach.
Yeah,
It's pretty close.
It's an open course, yeah. What are you doing?
Interesting going to a knee from Dane, but
I think
showing me what's up, clearly.
I think it's one of those psychological things, once again, because it is a low tree. If he stands up and he sees it in his vision, it might draw his body to throw it into the ground again. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It just could
Like
be
that. Ooh, good bid from Brendan, but that's the danger on this hole. Because he's
Rolling
gonna
into it,
he's gonna have an obstructed putt from there from 15 feet, but still not an easy one.
All right, first birdie opportunity here.
Let's see it, Jared. Ah, man, just leaves it short.
I think he felt the pressure of not wanting to miss and go into that, because then it's a close chance for a bogey.
Yep, and here we go. Carson from a knee. It looks like he didn't push far enough in that he won't have anything, but definitely not your run-of-the-mill putt from here.
And he brings it down left of his left hip.
Wow,
so
nice
like a
putt,
side.
Carson. Yeah, slinging it. But close enough that he doesn't have to.
Really
Those you
think
can
about
kind of,
switch
if you're at circle's edge for those, it gets a little bit dangerous because you're trying to throw it hard.
Yeah.
When you can just kind of place it up in the basket, makes it a little bit easier. Nice putt from Carson.
I think there's this tiny little walkway that Brandon's
Yeah, it looks like
actually
he's in between the trees, so not as obstructed as it could have been. Good putt for par.
Yep, very good.
Yeah, but you can definitely see the danger you can get into back there quick if you're not putting your putts either on the pole or in the chains.
And I would say good up and down from Mark, but he's throwing to Berg. He's cheating, so...
I'll give him a good up and down. Good up and down, Mark.
All right.
I'm just nicer than Peyton, that's all. Good putt from Dane as well, and yeah, Jared's not going to love his par there, but it's all right.
Yeah.
We'll survive.
Nearing the end of this first round here. Before we get to the end, want to thank NADGT for elevating this tour, and they'll be extending some offers to top players to go play in the championships down in Austin, Texas. A fantastic event to participate in, I will say, from past experience. It's awesome.
Yep.
And then hole 17.
Hole 17 here, we got 312 feet, par 3, playing slightly uphill. You're looking either for the righty backhand turnover with a mid or a fairway, or the righty forehand is probably, if you have it, the better play, in my opinion.
So this is not a pick your line sort of hole, because
No,
we
you've
are
got
butted
trees
right
on
up
both
onto this.
sides.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're not really in play for hitting. They're close enough to the tee pad that it's not really a gap that you're worried about missing.
No, they just create tunnel vision for your
But they
shot
definitely
shape, yeah.
they do that, and these kind of pesky trees in the fairway definitely come into play more than you'd like. Yeah, so we had just the turnover from Carson. It looks like Jared will be going for the flip up turnover as well.
Do you know what that is?
I think that's his Supra.
Okay. Yeah,
so
he
kind
mentioned
of-
that. It is. Yep.
Yeah, mid flippy, mid range.
Yep.
Turns it just a little bit too much into the tree. He'll have like 60 feet or so from there. Dane going for the forehand. Yeah, not going to get the skip today, unfortunately. Just about 4 feet higher, and I think that's under the basket.
Yeah. If anybody has the righty, just baby hyzer straight, either mid-range or fairway, I think this is in their wheelhouse. And wow.
Absolutely. That's a nice shot from Brendan. I kind of know what that disc is, because that thing is flippy. He's thrown it a couple times
Yeah.
today, and it's flying really nice for him. I assume it's Gateway. I think he's Gateway sponsored. So.
He is, yes. I see updates from him on a regular basis. So.
Unfortunately, I'm not too up on their lineup. Nice shot from Mark, playing it around the outside on the right. He'll have a putt from there, but not quite as close as you'd like, I'm sure. Jared, after hitting the tree, has about 60 feet in, maybe 50. Yeah, and just floats it. A little bit of a tester coming back from there, not...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man,
First, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to comment on the guys who are managing their stance and not jumping or falling, advancing over their lie from circle 2, because I mean that's a lot of spin and a lot of power, and the fact that they can get some control on that and hit putts consistently would impress me.
Yeah.
I rely on like kind of that falling
yeah.
putt just because I like to more lob mine in the air and let
Nice
it fall.
putt from Dane. Well,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I prefer, as soon as I get outside circle, I'm a stepper or a jumper just to get the momentum moving forward. Yeah. I just think it helps personally. Great putt from Dane there from about 45, 50. Good birdie, and we've got Mark as well with the birdie putt.
Do it, man.
From just outside circle. Yeah, nice putt from Mark. That's well done. Definitely doesn't play exactly to his strength on the tee shot, so a good birdie to pick up for him. And this is a really nice drive from Brandon. Hopefully he can capitalize. Oh no! Yeah, you can see the frustration there. Just grips it a little bit and pulls it wide.
It happens to all of us, man.
Yeah.
I know Brandon's definitely not having his putting day, but that was the one, say, it's not his miss, because everything I've seen has just
been coming early a little bit
early. But the fact that all of them are great height, and he only had one that was like online but low.
Yeah.
He's definitely a much better putter than what we've seen here today, and I know he knows this. We're not trying to call him out or anything, but this kind of shows here in MA1 where.
Yep. Hey, we're not pros. We're not consistent. Good putt from Jared there, and Carson sneaks his in as well.
Yep, for sure.
And unfortunate tap out for par there from Brendan. Yeah, thinking about what happened there. All right, one hole left. What are we doing here? We're checking scores or something.
Scores. You know what? I was not perfect at getting all the footage trimmed out, so we're just here checking it out, and
it's all right.
Dalton on the bag, and everyone giving some knucks for a solid first round.
Good round, everybody.
Yeah, and
Dalton, what are you doing?
I don't know. All right, this is stop number 4 for the tour. So thank you guys once again for checking in. It's been a while since we've done our last coverage. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm getting caught up, and I appreciate you guys stopping by to check out the coverage. But Ben's going to break down hole 18.
Yep, hole 18, 651. The drone footage here actually started from the short pad. We're playing from a pad about 200 feet farther back from that. First shot, you just want to throw pretty much as far as you can. Keep it in the middle. There's a couple trees in the way, but nothing too serious. And then second shot, you're moving a little bit right to left, trying to approach the basket out in the field.
Dane's trying to do that huge turnover like he did before.
Yeah,
it works out.
I like this play. You want something a touch more stable for him probably, but that's, he's in the tall grass, so the run-up will be tricky. But he'll have a look for a good shot at birdie. Mark turns his a little bit. We might have a subtle headwind, head left to right here.
It's more a stronger left to right, I would say.
Gotcha.
Not much of a headwind, but he hits that. There's a pine tree on the right hand side of the fairway. He hits it, and drops down.
I know that pine tree. There's a nasty spot in there that it gets mean.
Ugh. Okay.
Carson, that looks like a way better line, kind of pushing it out on hyzer out of his hand.
And that's the magic disc.
Yeah, man, that's
the one he just rips on, and it slowly turns until it hits critical point, and then it comes back slowly. It's I find a disc like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's way up there. He'll have just a hyzer in from there, I think. Jared also going big with a destroyer probably. Kind of plays it more as a hyzer, but that's a good position. He'll have just a hyzer into the green from there as well.
Yeah. I mean, these little trees here, they don't pose much risk off the tee, but I mean, once you land by them, then they're in the fairway. It's like you're in the wide open, but you have to like do what Mark's doing and straddle out and try to figure something out.
And so I wish I could say I've never been in this tree, but I have, and it's maybe the worst tree to ever of this size to be underneath, because it's got long limbs and it grabs onto you and makes you throw shots like this. Unfortunately, get through that. That's going to be a tricky spot for Mark. Hopefully he can get up and down for par.
Yeah, he's at around that 150 mark.
Yeah.
That 150 range.
Sure.
I'm not going to use his name to describe where he's at.
That would be rude of you.
I know, that's terrible.
Let's see. Brandon going for the lefty turnover. This is a technical shot. Yeah, it doesn't quite turn it enough. I mean, it's a good shot. He'll have 70, 80 from there probably.
I think that branch did some injustice, because that was looking quite nice.
It knocked him down for sure.
Yeah. Dane doing Dane
Yeah,
stuff,
he's
high
going
Anheuser.
mid or approach disc maybe. Hi Annie leaves it a little short, but that'll putt. And Jared actually pushed far enough up that he's kind of cut off on the straight hyzer. It looks like maybe he's going for the wide hyzer. He definitely has the power for it.
He's trying to throw it a little bit lower, I think.
Or no, okay, yeah, you're
Flip
right.
up.
Oh, I totally misread where we were on the fairway here.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah, that's a nice shot from Jared. Just a little mid-range in.
And this,
Doesn't put it quite as close as he wants, but he'll have a putt. And this is a nice drive from Carson.
he'll get to do what he wants. He likes to throw the baby hyzer flat kind of shots.
Yep,
From what I can tell.
This looks like just a zone, so he can't be. He put a really good move on that drive. We'll just say that. That's way up there, and that is how you want to do it, folks. That's a really nice shot from Carson.
2 good shots, putting him in circle 1. See if he can close out a bird, and then he's looking like the best scorer of the card.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think we'll be seeing him again for second round. I think. Okay, guys, we'll be seeing him.
You know it.
I know. I do know it.
We'll get final scores in a minute here, but Carson will be on our card for the second round.
Absolutely. Yep. So
Good
these
bid.
guys are just trying to clean up. Yeah, and that was
good bid from Brandon. Definitely kind of put in that intermediate range where it's a long jump putt or a weird kind of short throw. So good effort from there.
That mark range where he could put it in. Oh, that looks just
Maybe.
like the other one.
Ooh,
Oh.
good bid from Mark.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a bogey, unfortunately, to finish his round.
I
Definitely
think
not what you're looking for, but it's all right. He'll fight. Dane, this is a birdie bid, but left it a little bit shorter than I thought he did. So he's got about 60, 70 from here. Let's see. Hopefully he can put a good move on it.
Man, I just noticed the big playground there in the background.
Oh, good bid from Dane. Yeah, he liked
Completely
that.
random note. But yeah, that was a great run from Dane. I being a dad, I'm starting to look at parks for like their whole package.
Jared.
Dang it, man.
Yeah.
Put it in the basket. But I'm looking for the whole package in a park. And if you're out here just in general in Bloomington with family, I think this is a great opportunity for you to have young kids play the playground and check out the really short pitch and putt course.
Definitely.
Fantastic birdie for Carson.
Yeah, good strong finish for him on the round.
But, I mean, this is, my first walk through the whole 18, and it's beautiful out here.
Oh, yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a fun course. Definitely, compared to the course we have here in Peoria, it beats you up a lot less. You're kind of throwing more in the park style, a little more open. Mm-hmm. So, it's a good change up. Jared, frustrated little tap out there. Yeah. Not exactly the round he was looking for, but what can you do?
He's looking stronger than we've seen him, and we know everybody on this card, their games are all moving up. So, yeah, regardless of age and where you are in life, you can always strive to be better. But that was round 1 of Bloomington Normals Bash. Like I said, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming to check out the coverage. If you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, your support matters so much, and I'm going to keep doing this stuff, but if you guys enjoy it, I want to be able to share that with more and more people. So thanks for joining us, and any parting words, Ben?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the second round. Thanks for having me on again, Payton.
Absolutely. You're most welcome, and we'll see you guys in a minute.